Right, so we did a video a while ago called The Forgotten Formula. The idea was that there are lots of different formulas for the area of a triangle, and we were wondering what the formula was, because nobody ever seems to talk about it, for the area. If what you know is two angles and the side length in between them. We wanted to know, is there a formula that just contains these three things? And there is, and we showed you what it was. The formula is this, and the puzzle that we left you with was, why is it that? So I'm just going to run through a quick explanation of how we can get to this formula. So if we start with the idea that the area of a triangle is a half base times height, in this case that is a half times what we call C times H, but that's no good because we don't know what H is. So what do we know about H? We know that sine of B is equal to H over A. So I've drawn this height in here. So H over A, which means that H is equal to A sine B. So I could now swap that. I could say this is now equal to a half times C times by A sine B. But we don't know what A is. We only know what big A is. So we need to get rid of that somehow. So we can use the sine rule, is one way to do it. If I said that A over sine A is equal to, well, you see, if we use B and sine B, we're going to be in the same mess as we were in before, because we'll have introduced B and we don't want B either. So I'm going to use C and say sine C, which means that A is equal to C sine A over sine C. And if we substitute that into here, we get that the area is equal to a half C times by A, which is C sine A over sine C, times by sine B. So you can see we're getting closer to this. We've got the half C squared, C times C, sine A sine B over sine C. You might think at first that that's still not very helpful because we don't know what sine C is. But there's a bit of a trick, isn't there, we can use with sine C, because we know that angle C, when you add it to angle A and angle B, it makes 180 degrees. So angle C is 180 minus A plus B. Something that we know about the sine function is that if we're working in degrees, sine of 180 minus x, let's call it, is equal to sine of x. So sine of 180 minus A plus B C is just equal to the sine of A plus B. So we can swap sine C here for sine of A plus B. So we've got that the area equals a a half. Well, what I'll do is I'll bring that 2 down to the bottom with the fraction, just multiply it into the fraction. So we end up with c squared sine A sine B, and then the 2 comes into the fraction on the bottom, and sine C can be swapped for sine of A plus B, and that's it.